You are now chopping it up with the Nerd Barbershop Podcast.
Thank you.
The summer will be heating up before you know it, but your drinks, they don't have to. You can chill out with The Frozen Pour, an anthology of slushy recipes from author Taryn Williams, available on Lulu.com. The Frozen Pour is your guide to icy, flavorful cocktails that'll turn any moment into a celebration. Whether you're unwinding after a long day or hosting the party of the season, there's a slushy for every occasion. They're simple to make, delicious to sip, and cooler than your average cocktail. Why settle for the ordinary when you can pour frozen perfection? The Frozen Pour, an anthology of slushy recipes from author Taryn Williams, is available right now on Lulu.com. Order your copy today and raise a frosty glass of unforgettable flavors.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop Podcast. I'm Taryn Williams. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode of the podcast and hanging out with me for a little bit. I can't talk because I haven't done a podcast in a little while. But you can tell by the title, we're talking about Superman. Let's just kind of get into it. You know, it happens. One of the biggest superhero movies dropping of the year. Superman first. Fantastic Four, of course, later on in July. And I saw Superman the day before it officially came out. It came out July 11th. I actually saw it on Thursday the 10th. So I saw, an early show. I wanted to see before all the spoilers and stuff like that. Let's talk about it. I really enjoyed it. I give it a solid 8.5. Like, it's not perfect. I was actually telling somebody after the movie where the first half was like a little bit slower, but the back half was really, really good. Like, I really enjoyed the back half of it. I liked all the parts. I liked all the, just like the bits of it, And they had to kind of do a lot because this is establishing Superman and some other characters and some other, just how the world is going to be. Like, I love the Peacemaker cameo in the movie, which was really, really good. I guess I should say spoiler alert, but I'm talking about the movie, so there'll be a spoiler, alert in the title, but you kind of already know that. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. I forget the name the guy that plays Superman, like David Cornsweet. I forget his name. I saw it. I was like, I don't know how to pronounce that. I thought he was really good. He was a really good Clark, a really good Superman. Really just enjoyed his energy and the character, just kind of the wholesomeness of Superman, because Superman has always been very wholesome. Of course, he gets the dark brooding side, of course, at times, but he's always especially in the beginning, he's always very wholesome, he's truth, justice, and trying to be positive and just trying to help people and show people that there's a better way and try to be the strength that they need. And I think he did a really good job of portraying that with his version of Clark Kent and Superman. I love him being nerdy, because Superman is supposed to be nerdy because that's kind of how he is. He's just kind of a fish out of water. He's still learning how to be social, still learning how to do things, still not quite, just figuring it all out. It's kind of, he's been on Earth, I think, for 30 years or 33 years at this time of the movie happening. But he's still just kind of figuring it all out still, how to be a hero, how to talk to media, how to be in a relationship, because because him and Lois have been in a relationship for, I guess, a couple of months now at the time of the movie. But they kind of show that and how that working and how it just kind of goes in and how it's kind of awkward and they haven't really built that strong bond yet. And, I just kind of enjoyed how they just kind of did a good job of just giving you all the bits that kind of hit all the Superman beats, him being defeated, him being strong, him being a sign of hope, him being turned against, him fighting giant monsters, him losing, him dealing with Lex. They hit a lot of the beats of Superman in one movie, where it's not this one particular theme. It kind of hits all the themes, when he's fighting with the Bavarian hammer or whatever. But of course, us the audience, we find out that Lex is actually kind of manipulating the situation and turning into this whole ploy so he can try to get part of the country. He's helping them with that by making it seem like Superman started an international incident, which he really didn't do. He's doing what he always does, is try to help people and try to stop bad stuff from happening. But Lex kind of turned that into an international incident and all this stuff, and that was fun. The music is really good. James Gunn did really good. The Superman themes, the way they cue it up, what they use it for certain moments, those moments where you just need a little bit of hope and just it cues up. It's so good. I love the flying scenes. The flying scenes were really, really good. Just the close-ups and just the sense of speed and just the sense of just how it works and just the way the filmography of it all was really, really nice. There were some really good moments, some really good scenes. They do kind of speed through some stuff. I really feel Crypto was the MVP. Crypto, the super dog. Crypto was dope. Crypto's amazing. I'm not sure if the dog is real or if it's a CG dog. I didn't really get that into it. But Crypto's a really good character. Crypto needs to come back. You know, it's really just what they did with Crypto, where he's kind of unruly, but he just kind of does what he wants. But he will listen at times, and Crypto is just a fun character. I think it was just kind of serious, but also like comedic relief at times, where Crypto would just do dog stuff, and it would pop the crowd. The crowd would laugh and chuckle. They did a really good job of peppering him in there. Mr. Terrific was really good, a really good character. Hope we get more Mr. Terrific. I did Nathan Fillion did a really good job as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I know a little bit of Guy Gardner. I haven't read a ton of Green Lantern comics. I know of the character. He's kind of like a douche and kind of a dick. And Nathan Fillion did a pretty good job of that. I wish we would got to see maybe because they had Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, and of course Hawkgirl. Where you kind of get little splashes. You get more of Mr. Terrific than anyone else on screen time. You get a little bit of Green Lantern. You don't get a whole lot of Hawkgirl. I thought that was kind of sad, because I thought we were going to maybe get a little bit of her backstory. I know a little bit of it. I'm pretty sure it's her and Hawkman are eternal lovers, and they die, but they reincarnate as different people, and they end up getting their memories and stuff like that. And I forget what their whole stuff, but they didn't really dive too much into her. You got a little bit of Mr. Terrific, who he is, how smart he is, what he can do. Of course, since Guy Gardner is a Green Lantern is pretty much a known character idea. He's not Hal Jordan Green Lantern, but we kind of get the gist of the Green Lanterns. But so it's kind of okay, we get that. But I wish they would have give a Hawker a little bit more. He just kind of goes around flying, hitting people with her mace and screaming. It's okay, but she doesn't really get a lot to really get behind her. Lois I thought was really, really good. I forget who plays Lois, but she did a really good job. Just being kind of the hard ass, just tough, just kind of Lois. Just kind of how Lois is just so hard on Clark and everything, but she really is a sweetheart. She's still learning how to be softer. She's probably always had to be hard in a tough tough industry and tough. She just has to be tougher, and she tries to learn how to be a little bit softer with Clark / Superman, and they work on that throughout the movie. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I was talking to a guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he asked me how I thought. He was like, "Yo, thumbs up, thumbs down." I give a thumbs up. I guess one of his friends was like, "Oh, he gave a 5 or a 6." I'm like, "A 5 or a 6? Why?" For me, I think they did a good job. I think maybe they wanted more fighting, where Superman just being going off, just punching people in the face. But no, you need a story. You need to build to that, like big fight scenes and big cinematic pieces. But there were some really good cinematic pieces. The last 20 minutes, I think, of the movie is where it really, really shined with I forget what happened. There's a riff. There's because Lex makes a pocket dimension. The pocket dimension shatters because it's really a black hole and shit like that. It starts tearing up the city and gonna tear up the earth, and that's happening. Superman has to fight Ultraman. We find out Ultraman is actually a clone of Superman, with the kind of tease throughout the movie. And I was I didn't really put it together. So I'm oh, okay. They actually would tease that the entire movie. You just had to pay a little bit closer attention to get that. And so Superman fights him, and you had this happening and trying to save people, and just the last 30 minutes of the movie is where all Superman in one. It's basically this is who Superman is, a character fighting people, stopping interdimensional portals and shit, saving everybody, and doing some cool stuff, and just punching, because they had to fight with Lex Luthor had what they call Reapers, I think. Fought him and Krieger fighting 300 of them at once, blasting with laser blasts and spinning and shit like that. It's just yep, that's Superman. But it made you really want to read some more Superman comics. That's what it did do. Because I've always I love this person. I love the Superman logo. Not for Superman as a whole, because he always seemed kind of just kind of Boy Scouty. Because he is he's Superman. What can't he do? But I kind of want to read Kingdom Come. I do want to read All-Star Superman, I think, because I think those are better runs. This is a little more. I also need to read Absolute Superman 2 that came out earlier this year. I need to read that, 'cause I heard that's amazing. But back to the movie. It's there was this it feel kind of rushed to get kind of these blurbs, and can you kind of got the Superman kind of hit list, boom boom boom. You got Lex, it's the main villain, quote unquote, but Lex was the main villain, of course, of the entire movie. You kind of knew going into it. But what they did was there was plots. It was just you had this thing, Superman. You had the initial part of the movie, which was the Hammer of Bavarian or whatever, and you had to Superman had to fight him and deal with that, and deal with kind of getting beat and had to heal. So you had that part. And Superman comes back, fights him a little bit more, loses again, but then he's his pride is hurt or whatever. So you had that part. Then you had the stuff with him and Lois, their relationship. So you had to work through that. That wasn't Lois and that wasn't Lex's doing, but that was just Superman having to deal with that. And then you have Lex trying to get something on Superman to get him out the way because of Lex's plan. He breaks into the Forces of Solitude. He's able to forget the rest of Superman's the Superman's parents sent to him, like in his ship. They tell him to be the hope and blah blah blah. He's the hope for the planet and be good, show them good, but also he's supposed to rule the planet too. And of course, Lex finds that he posts that everywhere, and of course, everybody turns to Superman like, "Oh, you're trying to rule us? You're trying to, you're trying to do this? You're trying to be our, be a dictator? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?" And so the entire planet turns on Superman, and Lex uses that against him. And he just kind of keep building and keep building and keep building. And then you learn about the Superman, of course, turns himself in because he's like, you know what, I gotta try to take this head on. He turns himself in. Lex traps him into he takes him to the pocket dimension and traps him for a little bit. Lex was scheming a whole lot, but it's just Superman dealing with, how strong he is. He still has to deal with, all these other problems. Like, you gotta deal with someone, because the only reason why he lost that fight because Lex has been studying Superman for so long. He knew all Superman's moves, and Superman had to kind of he couldn't just use his strength. He had to start thinking, which in the end scene he started to think like, oh, okay, let me use something that you didn't plan for against you, which he uses crypto. It's just kind of fun, kind of interesting. Of course, you have you can have a Superman move without some type of kryptonite, because even they even say in the movie where one of the General Steel, I think, or General Flag is like, Lex, you have kryptonite. There's probably no more kryptonite anywhere. Lex like, oh, I got it down. I figured it out. I forget his name is Mineral Man or something like that. He could turn basically his body into any substance, even substances that don't exist on Earth. So he actually turned himself into a little bit of kryptonite and basically gave Superman kryptonite poison when they were in the little cube. Stuff like that. They kind of worked around some stuff. Really? You just threw that in there? You just threw Mineral Man, just threw him in there? But there's some really cool moments. You do like Superman in the sun, which I think is really cool. Where I like that was such a big focal point of the movie. Where of course they're in the pocket dimension, there is no sun, and after kind of Mineral Man realizes, oh crap, let me get rid of this kryptonite because Lex killed somebody in front of Superman in cold blood. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. He takes away the kryptonite. He's like, oh wait, why aren't you getting better? And Superman's like, I need the sun. I need the power of the yellow sun. And Mineral Man in the little cubicle actually makes a sun. Because he can create nitrogen. He's all the pieces. He actually makes a sun in the cubicle to recharge and heal Superman. It was really cool. I thought that was a really cool part. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. Just seeing a character make a pocket sun was kind of cool. Just the science nerdy part of me. Oh, that's really a cool idea and a cool concept. And Superman, of course, restores his energy, punches people, and breaks them all out. But I really enjoyed the vibe of the movie. I think they did a really good job of ending it kind of in a way where you can feel kind of the crescendo what they were building up to. And even at the end when Superman faces Lex, he kind of just tells him what's wrong with you? I'm trying to show you I'm good, I'm doing this, and I'm hopeful, I'm trying to help people. And Lex is like, well, you're showing me that we're all weak. It's of course, Lex being just a complete dick, but it's just oh, well, you're showing us our weakness, you're showing us how weak we are and how minuscule we are compared to you and and our flaws and everything. It's just him again, this villain being villain and just not really realize Superman hasn't done anything wrong. He just exists. Well, him existing is a problem. What? Okay, whatever. They find out that Lex's plan, of course, was to actually get a piece of the land, and he actually had traded the United States. He started a whole international war for this. He goes to Belle Reef. He's probably coming back because, of course, Lex breaks out and does shit like that. We did get a cameo from Kara, Superman's cousin, which was really, really cool. Played by Millie Alcock, which I don't remember I don't know if they ever spoiled that. I don't remember if they said she was in the movie or not. I don't think so, but that's cool. Her being, because she is older than Clark in the comics, and she's kind of unhinged, which I kind of hope she doesn't stay Supergirl for long and she becomes Power Girl. I would love that. They kind of switch it up a little bit, because I know Power Girl is Kara, but from a different universe, so I hope they do Power Girl instead of just keeping Supergirl the same. And Crypto is actually her dog, which makes a lot of sense. But Kara goes party on Red Suns and gets drunk, and it's just a wild chat, which I kind of like. So hopefully the next movie we get Kara, we get just some of her and just kind of who she. I don't think she's stronger than Superman. I don't think Superman is the best, but Kara's just older and understands her powers a little bit more. So I hope we get to see that. With Green Lantern, Mr. Rip, they were the superhero. They're the Justice Team or something. I forget what was it. It was a Crime Justice Team. I forget the name of their team name. It was stupid. The Crime Squad, Justice Squad. I think it might have been Justice Squad or something. It was something stupid that Green Lantern, or not Green Lantern. Yeah, but Green Lantern, but Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl, and they're actually in the Hall of Justice. The Hall of Justice actually already exists in Metropolis, so I guess it's used for something else. So we're gonna get like the Justice League, of course, sooner than later because they already teased that. I mean, we're gonna get, they're gonna do Batman events, they're gonna do Wonder Woman, they're gonna do Flash. So we'll see like what happens. I'm assuming Guy Gardner might be the first Green Lantern we get in the Justice League, and then maybe we'll get John Stewart later or something like that. We'll see. So they set up some stuff. They set up some ideas and some concepts of things. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. It was about 2 hours, and it went by pretty fast. I didn't feel bored. I enjoyed it. I was pretty much like, oh, okay, like following the plot pretty well. The plot was pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. Like, I love, like, kind of like, he has his mom and his dad, of course, in Kansas, and he ends up going back to there to rest and heal up and stuff, and, because, like, it's kind of cool, like, in the beginning of the movie, what calms him at the Force of Solitude is the message from his parents, his Kryptonian parents, but at the end of the movie, the message that calms is from his Earth parents, and they show, like, this reel of him and Christmas, and opening gifts, and playing sports, and just being younger. So it was really cool, it was really sweet, it was a kind of really good way to book in the movie, because that's kind of what Clark is about. He's always been like inspired by the words of his parents, and so now it's not just the words of his Kryptonian parent, but now the words of his Earth parents, which is really important, really special, really good in the movie. Probably didn't get into every little detail because I'm like, go watch the movie, go watch it, go enjoy it, just go support it. I think it's a really good, especially for James Gunn to handle like one of the big, like the holy trinity of DC. Like I think this is a really good point. So I think Batman is gonna be really, really intricate too, because of course you can't do Superman without Batman, and then Wonder Woman down the road, then Flash, of course. But I think it's a really good starting off point. I think it's a really good first, like, really big movie, because he's done, like, of course, Suicide Squad movies, but for him to, like, to take over, like, creative direction and everything, I think this is a really good place for it. Like, 8.5, 8.5, I think is a really good score for it. It's a fun time. Like, don't be so critical of stuff. Just go enjoy stuff. Please. Just go watch the movie. Enjoy it. It's a quick, fun movie. You'll understand it. You'll get it. There aren't, like, a lot of plot twists or deep cuts. I mean, there are deep cuts in it, probably. More than likely. But just enjoy it. Have fun. It's Superman. It's feel good. He's a hero. He's going to do dope stuff. He flies. He punches people in the face. He saves kids and does all this cool stuff. Just go enjoy it. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this brand new episode of the Nerd Barbershop Podcast. I greatly appreciate it. You will check me out in the next episode. I'm not sure when that will be, but I'm still like uploading. I gotta get back to my Patreon. I gotta do some other stuff for the podcast. Gotta do the YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff. So please keep rocking with me. Thank you all. I'm sorry for like the inconsistent posts on the podcast and the YouTube channel and the Patreon. It's a lot, but I'm organizing it. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna give myself a solid schedule with some flexibility. I hope I can be more consistent in the near future. But thank you all for supporting me, for supporting Digital Chef, for supporting the brand, for supporting everything that I've done. I got some new stuff on the horizon as well, so please be locked into all my socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube channel, of course, and the Patreon. Check it all out as well. Linktree.com/Taryn J. Williams. If you want to check out the Linktree, post all the good stuff that I do, links to everything. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support always. And again, always and forever, Slicing Dicing Gaming. Not just a motto, it's a lifestyle. I'll see you next video. Later. Or podcast. Sorry.